I've seen a lot of games, and I have a feeling this one is going to be special.
Week 13 of the greatest team season, 68 Jets and the 90 Bills. Jim Kelly and Joe Namath are two of the premier quarterbacks in NFL history. Both played well early. Buffalo's James Lofton stole the show with a pair of touchdown catches, but late in the ball game with the Bills up 4, Namath makes the game's biggest mistake, a pick six to Nate Odoms, and the 1990 Bills have knocked out the Jets and are back in the wild card race at 7-5, 24-19 home win. Heavyweight battle out of the NFC, 99 Rams, 85 Bears. Mike Singletary and that defense was as advertised today, as was the only player not running on the rain, Walter Payton, who dances past the slipping Dre Bly. 7-0 ensuing kickoff. Tony Horn hit by Marshall, loses the ball, and Tim Reitman recovers. 2 plays later, McMahon finds Galt for a 27-yard score. That defense held the greatest show on turf scoreless until this touchdown to Bruce with under 3 minutes left in the game. But it was too little too late for St. Louis. Walter Payton runs the Bears into the win column, 14-7 against St. Louis. They avenged the crushing loss of the Vikings last week. A balmy 93-degree day out of North Florida and a big AFC South showdown too. Winner goes to 5-7. Plenty of points in this one for the Jaguars. Second-year utility man out of NC State, Alvis Whitted, with the biggest play of the day, a 102-yard return touchdown. Jaguars take the lead in the second, and they're back in front with a Stewart score. Johnson reels in his league-high 8th touchdown of the season to put Houston back in the lead, but then Barlow finds the end zone too. Just over a minute left with Houston down 4. Schaub with a chance to win it. Instead throws a brutal interception to secure a Jacksonville victory. That is the first pick of the season from Carnell Lake. 35-24 Jaguar victory despite a 336-yard day from Matt Schaub. 76 Raiders at the 78 Steelers. In that immaculate reception game at Three River, Pittsburgh was down 7-6 in the second half to the Raiders, and then Franco Harris grabbed a tip ball, ran down the left sideline to win the game for Pittsburgh. Deja vu moment in this one again against Oakland. The Steeler defense was fantastic throughout, holding the Raiders to 1 score. The Steelers are now 8-4. 17 Eagles, 98 Falcons. The loser of this game is essentially done for the NFC postseason, and Jamal Anderson would leave no drama in this one. He had his best day of the season. 218 yards from scrimmage for the All-Pro out of Utah as Atlanta rolls 33-10. The Falcons are now 5-7 and will host New Orleans next week. Speaking of the Saints, fresh off of their overtime win against the Patriots last week, they got off to a much worse start at lowly Washington today. Dale Green's second pick six in a month gives the Redskins a 14-0 lead, but the Saints slowly battled back into the game. A Bell touchdown with a Thomas two-pointer were tied at 14. Against the driving wind, Lohmiller's kick is no good. Hartley battles the win this time, and he'd miss it too. We're going to overtime. Hartley a shot to win it, and he would hit the upright, and it's no good again. Washington's offense was pretty horrible, though. They went scoreless on their final 12 drives of the game. Breeze and company would respond eventually in overtime. After a Thomas run, there's Heath Evans for a 32-yard catch to set up the game-winning Garrett Hartley field goal. And he buried this one. New Orleans wins the game, their second straight, 17-14 in overtime. Tennessee has lost 4 games in a row. Indianapolis has won 4 in a row. Today's quarterback battle, Steve McNair and Peyton Manning, was certainly a great one to watch. McNair caps the opening drive with that pass to Neal, but then Manning goes with a screen and finds the rookie Joseph Adai to tie the game. McNair bounces back against that talented secondary, a touchdown to Dyson, and then a third to Yancey Thigpen, and the Titans lead it into the fourth quarter, 21-17. Last chance for Indy down 4 late. Manning on 4th and 12, dials up the deep ball, and that is incomplete to Fletcher. Samari Roll knocks it away. Tennessee does the Jaguars a lot of favors with this win today. The Colts are now just a game up of the Jags in the AFC South. Potential game of the year, 98 Broncos and 19 Chiefs, led by two of the best ever, John Elway and Patrick Mahomes. A thriller from Arrowhead in Week 13. Charvarius Ward with a 100-yard pick six puts the Chiefs in front, but that would be a rarity for John Elway. In fact, he'd bounce back on the next play. This is a 75-yard grab from Marcus Nash, the rookie. We're tied at 7. Plenty of touchdowns in this one. Watkins followed by Davis. For the Chiefs lead, this is Damian Williams. To tie the game, out of the backfield, Terrell Davis, gone from 75, we're tied at 24. Elway to backup Derek LaVille, but then Mahomes to the backup LaShawn McCoy. Denver up a field goal late in the game. Mahomes goes deep and finds Mecole Hardman. The next play, it's Mahomes to Damian Williams. 38-34 late in the ball game, but Elway would bounce back again. Rod Smith to midfield, then Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe wide open, and he breaks a tackle too. A touchdown will give them the lead, chased by Thornhill, and he is out of bounds at the 3-yard line. They need a touchdown, and Davis scores. 15 seconds left in the game. Off a squib kick, the Chiefs have a short field. Final play of the game. Here is Travis Kelce. He took too long to get down, and the game is over. 946 yards, 30 first downs in a thrilling Denver win, 41-38. Cincinnati's Boomer Esiason, the 1988 league MVP, was one of the best quarterbacks of his era and has been one of the best of the greatest team season too. Another 3 touchdowns gives him 25 now this season. First to Collinsworth and another with some help to Stanley Wilson out of the backfield, and the Bengals lead Detroit late in the game 21-7. Pete bounces back with this 4th down score to Willie Green. He get the ball back late, and he finds Green yet again to spark the drive. A promising drive too. DJ Dozier on 4th down inside the 5, setting up a dramatic finish. Pete on 3rd and goal, intercepted by David Fulcher, and Cincinnati knocks out the Lions 28-14. That pick six epitomizing a brutal Lions season. 28-14 is your final score. Cloudy day out of Charlotte, but plenty of points between the Buccaneers' Tom Brady and the Panthers' Cam Newton. Carolina got on them early with a couple of Newton first-quarter touchdowns. This one to All-Pro tight end Greg Olsen. Tampa comes back with this one to Jones, and then the best friend of Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, scores twice. There's his first. Whitaker is in, and then the tie of the game, Gronk. Good for 44 yards over the middle, and we're tied at 21. The very next Panther play, best of the day. This is All-Pro Mike Tolbert for 72, and Carolina takes a late 28-21 lead. The tail end of the Buck drive ends in a incompletion here from Tom Brady. Jared Allen on the pressure. It appeared the game was sealed until Jonathan Stewart coughs up a fumble, giving the Buccaneers another chance with 11 seconds left. Off a first down to Gronk, Brady to force overtime is nearly intercepted. The Panthers survive 28-21, and Carolina still is first in the NFC South, but they've got a tough one next week at the 07 Patriots. The 1987 Cleveland Browns have won 3 games in a row, including a blowout Week 13 against the 06 Chargers. 34-14 is your final score, and Cleveland still keeps things interesting in the AFC wildcard race. Meanwhile, division-leading Pittsburgh, with a win and some help, would clinch the AFC North next week. The 2013 Seattle Seahawks played spoilers a week ago against St. Louis. Could they do it again against another division rival? Joe Montana played well, but Wilson got on him early, this one to Rice, and then in the second half, leading by 7, the defense delivers a huge play. 4th pick of the year from Brandon Browner, and this one's a house call from 105. Wilson, who had a perfect passer rating in this one, finds Ricardo Lockett for 80, and Seattle has this game locked up 31-10 in the second half, or do they? Montana finds the end zone to Wilson and also to Jones to put him back in the game, and then Montana gets the ball back under 2 left, deep ball to Rice. Niners got a shot here, but the Legion of Boone finally clamps down late in this one with a 4th down stop here of Spencer Tillman. The Seahawks, who have played spoilers against some of the best in the league, play some of the worst in the league over their final 4 games. Only the Packers remaining on their schedule with a winning record. Seattle wins the game by 7. Montana did throw for 413 yards, but Seattle wins it, and they are also right in the thick of things after their second straight win in the NFC West. 92 Cowboys, 86 Giants. The Dallas Cowboys could all but secure the NFC East with a win against their division rival. Michael Irvin did everything he could. An all-time performance from the Hall of Fame receiver to lift the Cowboys in front 31-10. A terrific play for another Hall of Famer, Lawrence Taylor, but it wasn't enough as the Cowboys hang on for a 31-20 road win. Michael Irvin went berserk in this one against the second-best defense in the league, and he is the first-best receiver in the league this season now. Dallas has a 2.5-game lead with 4 games to go in the NFC East. Minnesota could keep their lead in the NFC North with a win at Arizona today. The defense was fantastic against Warner and the Cardinals. A 10-3 game into the fourth quarter. Randall's first of 2 sacks in the ball game ends that Arizona drive. Now 10-6 late in the game, and Jimmy Hitchcock finds the end zone again for the Vikings. Minnesota leads it late, 17-6. Warner bounces back late with a touchdown to Larry Fitzgerald. And now the Cardinals' chances relies on an onside kick from Neil Rackers. Plenty of height on the ball, but Matthew Hatchett recovers, and the Vikings win the game. Minnesota's 4th straight win, this one by field goal. Highly anticipated rematch of a Patriot win in Foxborough 1 month ago. This time Miami gets on them early in the second quarter as Greasy dials up the deep ball, Mercury Morris for the touchdown. But this was all Patriots the rest of the way. The Dolphin defense collapses here, 60-yard score to Wes Welker. And then Lawrence Maroney's gone from 45. A couple of goal line touchdowns from fullback Heath Evans. The Patriots humiliate their division rival 34-13. They've swept the season series, and the new class of the AFC is the 2007 Patriots. 2000 Ravens and the 1996 Packers. It's Monday night from Lambeau Field, and the Packers would give this crowd something to cheer about with a goal line score from tailback Dorsey Evans. 3 Ravens picked off Brett Favre in the game, the first from Hall of Famer Ray Lewis, his second interception in as many games. This time Favre off the interception would watch James Trapp bring it back 27 yards for a score, and while the Packers lead, that defense would hang in the game. Keith Jackson, the Pro Bowl tight end, finds the end zone, extra point no good, but the offense from their own 9 on 4th and 15, Stokely stopped short of the first down on a perplexing decision from Brian Billick. The Ravens offense would bounce back, a 4th down conversion to Shannon Sharp here. Later in the drive, with under 2 minutes left, a 1st and goal from the 4. Dilfer's got a shot, and he throws into the end zone, picked off by Evans, and he would bring it back for a Green Bay score. A huge Monday night win for the Green Bay Packers. Their second straight. They're now 7-5 this season. And while they are currently out of the final playoff spot, it's only by tiebreakers. Game of the year from Edgar Bennett. Green Bay a game behind in the NFC North at 7-5. The Vikings and the Bears are both 8-4. If the playoffs started today in the greatest team season, the 2007 Patriots and the 1998 Broncos would earn first-round byes. Meanwhile, out of the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers and the 2015 Carolina Panthers would have byes in the NFC. Your league leader in passing, on pace for around 5,000 yards, is Tom Brady. The league leader in rushing is Hall of Famer Walter Payton. He's been on scorched earth this season. And the new leader in receiving this season with 995 yards after a big day against the Giants is Michael Irvin. And here's a look at the remaining league leaders out of the greatest team season. Meanwhile, for the remaining playoff spots out of both conferences, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Miami, and Buffalo would be in the postseason out of the AFC. Minnesota, Dallas, Chicago, and St. Louis out of the NFC. Here's a look at the team leaders down the stretch of the season. San Francisco has the best offense, and Chicago the best defense. There is the full Week 13 schedule for what just happened in the greatest team season. Then check out what's coming up next We've got the Extra Point Show to recap all of Week 13 of the year and preview the home stretch of the season, along with the complete playoff scenarios down the stretch of this year. It's the greatest team season with Charger Dude 95.